Hi, this is Dennis with Ford Air Solutions. This is the video on post-trip inspections. This is what your icon will look like when you pull up to the parking lot. You want to hit hours of service. You can go ahead and cut your engine off. You don't need your engine on unless you just want to stay cool. Hit remarks. That scrolls down. You can select pre or post-trip. I don't think I mentioned that in the pre-trip video, but you can just select pre-trip or post-trip. We're doing a post-trip, so we'll select it, and then we'll I'm already in it, so I'm just going to hit cancel. You would hit OK to make sure that you go to it. The most important thing about a post-trip inspection is the safety of your coworkers. You don't know if you're going to be in the same truck every day. If you are, that's great. It's for the safety of you, but for the safety of others, you want to make sure that you leave the truck the way you found it this morning, or better. So this video is very, very similar to the pre-trip inspection. You want to go ahead and turn your truck on, or you want to make sure all your lights are off. Like I said in the other video, that amber light is okay. That is not check engine. That amber light is basically just a code of sorts. It's something that you can drive with, but you do not want your check engine light on, as I showed you in the pre-trip video. You want to make sure that your wipers are still working. You want to make sure that your defrost is still working. You can hear it blowing. You want to make sure that your horn is still working. You have two of them, one there, one up here. I'm going to flip on your lights. Make sure that your lights are working. Go ahead and cut on your flashers. Make sure your blinkers are working. It'll be harder to see this in the daytime for this video, but you can see them, they're shining here on both sides of the truck. As we walk around, you'll see them. That one's on. And you just basically want to do a post-trip inspection the same way you do a pre-trip inspection. You will be backed up to a dock most times. You don't have to be with a post-trip. You can leave your truck out about 3 feet and do this if you want. But the trucks usually have a pretty big enough gap so you can see the lights that are working, flashing, and operational. I think very important to make sure that your tires have no nails, that they're not punctured and they're not flat. I would give them some stiff kicks. Like I said, you don't know if you're going to be running this truck tomorrow, so you don't want your coworker to get in it and he not do a good enough pre-trip on it and take off in it and get in an accident. Again, make sure that your leaf springs are still intact, they're not loose, and they're not broken. And then again, just check the ground for any kind of fluid or any kind of leaks as you walk by. Just keep your eyes open for any loose bolts or any kind of liquid coming out of any area that it should not be. Something that is not necessarily required of DOT, but should be required for the company, is that when you do your post-trip, when you get done, you should drain your air tanks, which is this nozzle here. You just turn it and it's going to shoot out all the air. And it's also going to get rid of all your junk that's inside the tank. You're going to have a lot of buildup, especially if it rains. That'll come out, and that's good to do. They'll build right back up as soon as you start the truck. Again, you will want to check your oil and your coolant levels. Opening your hood. Your oil pressure is not going to tell you right away, since if you just got back, you want to have been sitting for 5 or 6 minutes. But you can check it anyways. It shouldn't be that drastically off, so you can check it. Make it the last thing that you do. It should be the first thing you do on a pre-trip. It should be the last thing that you do on your post-trip, just because it has time for the oil to come down as much as possible. Again, make sure that your coolant level is where it needs to be, and if it needs coolant, go ahead and add it for the driver that's going to get in it tomorrow, or add it for yourself so that you don't forget in the morning. Maybe you get in a rush like most of us drivers do. Check again your belts. Make sure your belts don't have any cracks or tears in them that might hinder your truck from being operational. And then just look around the engine and make sure that you don't see any leaking hoses or any loose bolts or loose connections, wires hanging where they don't need to be hanging, anything out of the ordinary. Okay, once you've done that, this has been a shorter video. Like I said, if you want a little bit lengthier video, watch the pre-trip inspection. It should be pretty much the same things that you do for the pre-trip you should do for your post-trip, just to make sure that the driver that gets in it the following day, whether it is you or your coworker, is going to be in some safe vehicle. And if you find anything wrong in your post-trip, you're going to write it up on a DIR, and you're going to give it to your dispatcher, whoever's in the head of your mechanics division at your Forward Air Solutions terminal. So then we're just going to, we post-tripped, we're just going to log out, and that will be the end. Actually, you would want to approve your log, but I'm not going to approve mine right now, but you would want to approve your log, and then you would want to log out. So this has been the video on post-trip inspection. If you want greater information, check out the pre-trip inspection. It'll kind of help you. Thanks for watching.